to another episode of Following the Play. I'm your host, Kristy Love, and we have my lovely co-host, Dan, from the Three Kings podcast. How are you?
What's going on? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I could be better.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the big old elephant in the room.
Mm.
We already know. We already know. Like, it's just so much we have to talk about and get into. But before I do, like always, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at I am Kristy Love, and follow me on TikTok at Kristy Love Sports. Follow Team MBS Media everywhere. Check us out online, teammbsmedia.com, for all the latest articles, YouTube shows, podcast shows, and the whole nine. Where can they follow you, Dan?
Of course, I'm on Twitter at Danikin at _DG3. Of course, we got the Three Kings of the Midway podcast as well. And of course, on this show, man, kicking it with nuts with Team NBS and enjoying it while I'm here. So it's really good to be here.
We gotta get you a TikTok page
Mm.
or Instagram or something,
I don't know. I was thinking about it. We'll see.
because you are only on Twitter.
That's
So
it. That's it. Yeah. I might have to change it up though.
before we get into the bad news bears, bad news bears, how was your week?
I mean, it was good. So far, it's been good. We just started off. It's Tuesday night, so I'm enjoying. The first 2 days. Um, the weekend was good, except for, of course, the debacle that was Week 9 in the NFL for the Chicago Bears, and of course, we got a ton of breaking news today, so that made for an interesting day of newsworthy clips and tweets and all kinds of different stuff that was going on. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
How was your day?
It was a long day, in my opinion. Had a long night, long day, long couple days. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
We're here. It's Tuesday, going on Wednesday.
yeah.
Luce is still our head coach.
He's still the
So
head coach. We got
I
one
mean,
guy out, but we still got another
we
one.
got the main guy, the ringleader, that's still on the team.
Yeah,
So
for
let's go
sure.
ahead and get into it, man. Look, you guys already know the Chicago Bears lose again. We're on a 3-game losing streak. We lost to the freaking 2-7, now 3-7 New England Patriots at home. The Bears have at least took care of home. We always win at home for the most part. So a lot of us Bears fans, well, some were 50-50 on if we was going to win or not. I was too, but at least we could have counted on playing at home and getting a win, right? But, you know, the past couple of weeks against the Cardinals, against the Commanders, we played bad football. We haven't really scored a touchdown since the Commanders game 3 weeks ago. Against the Cardinals, we just played horrible offensively. Defensively, we look flat. And then we come into the Patriots game, with some optimism. And it's just as soon as the first drive for the Bears happened, all of that optimism and positivity went out the window. At least for me, it did. Because I cannot get out my head how Caleb had good pocket protection and
Hmm.
he held onto the ball for at least 6 seconds. And I can't remember if he got sacked. He got sacked because
Hmm.
one guy got away and sacked him. And ever
Yep.
since then, from that first drive, I already knew what was up. I already knew like the type of game we're going to have. I've been watching the Bears. I'm young. I'm 32 years old. I have been watching the Chicago Bears since the Devin Hester era, when we had Nathan Vasher, Peanut Tillman, Earl
Hmm.
Lather, and all of them. I've been watching the Bears since then. I have never seen a Bears game this offensively bad. Even we had Justin or Trubisky, like it was not this bad. Even we had Luke Getzey, it was not this bad. At least we had a solid run game. We have DeAndre Swift, and that's literally our offense. But our opponent can figure him out. They can figure we're going to run the ball and shut that down immediately. It's the same thing. First play of the drive, Swift run down the middle. It's the same thing. Screen pass, throw left, throw right. It's the same. It's the same thing. And I know we just fired Shane, but it Like, what the hell? I know I said a lot. I'm gonna let you speak, but I just had to get that out. What on earth are we doing? Like, and I've been seeing it a lot. That Hail Mary sucked the last bit of life we had out. Players don't respect Shane. They don't respect Flus. They're doing interviews still talking about coaching and locker room drama. Allegedly, it's some rumor going around saying that our vets want Caleb Williams benched because how he's been playing. Caleb is not making completed passes. He's still throwing the ball. He's overthrowing the ball down the middle. He's still inaccurate down the middle. I don't see no wow factor in Caleb Williams yet. Maybe we saw a sprinkle. I will say that against worse teams, the Panthers and the Jaguars, but he has his own flaws. He's a rookie, but he should not be struggling as bad as he is. He's expected to struggle, right? But not this bad. Coaching is failing him. It's everybody saying it. The media, you dad, you said in his faces. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you speak.
I mean, I can see your frustration, right? And it is what it is. Like, this is the Bears. This is what
This is who we
we
are.
we we this is what we've been used to. Like
Yep.
that's the thing that kills me. Is like we should be more used to it, but every year we go into it with high hopes, man. You know what I
High
mean?
hopes.
And
Yes,
it
that
gets
is
dashed
it.
right before our
That
very
it
eyes,
is. Yes.
So
All the hype all the hype
okay.
we had. Like last year with Justin, when we got DJ Moore, X, Y, and Z, we had all this hype. Oh my God, DJ and Justin are best friends and blah, 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 blah. 1-2 punch. Look how that turned out this year. Oh, we got the best quarterback in the draft. We got all these weapons. We look good on paper. Defense looked good last year. This is the team. We're a win now team. We're playoff ready. Where we at right now? Where is all that? You know, like all the high hopes, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
same thing.
you got a situation where, you know, people came into it, and I like I said last week, I think I said it, that I blame fans and I blame media because the expectations that were put on this dude are
Mm-hmm.
very, very high, right? They're lofty,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have the Bears fan base, and there was a civil war. We all know of it,
Mm-hmm.
and you had some people that they saw it like I saw it and said, "Hey, let's keep Justin Fields because I can see a path to success with that," right?
Mm-hmm.
But you had these people,
Idiots.
you know what I mean, that hopped on and they took that and ran with it like, oh, you're saying Justin Fields is this and that and blah blah, he's great, and they pitted it as a this guy sucks, this guy is good, or if you supported keeping Justin, you believe that he was better than Caleb, or if you supported Caleb, you thought he was better than Justin. I never
Mm-hmm.
said either one of them was better because I see flaws in both individuals' games, right?
Right.
And some of the same flaws that I saw with Justin Fields, I see with Caleb Williams, and I've continued to see. I saw him back in college. So, you know, I'm not being a hypocrite here when I say, like, yeah, I wanted to hang tight with Justin Fields. That was my thought process behind the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now you've gone forward. We got Caleb, and I'm like, okay, I'm all on board. It is what it is. This is who we got. Let's make the best of it and let's roll. You know what I mean? I think he has tools and he has necessary skills to be really, really good in the NFL. But some of the same things, like I said, holding on to the ball too long,
Mm-hmm.
um, consistently looking for the deep play, not taking the check down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he dances in the pocket a little bit too much for my taste. I said that week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I've been saying this weekly. You know what I mean? It's like a broken record, I feel like. But
Yeah.
I keep saying it because it's like people don't understand. People are not getting it. What I'm saying, like he dances in the pocket. Now, some of it is good, some of it works, right? And that's the thing that we look at the situation, and that's what people fell in love with. oh, he makes these off-platform plays and can, do this and he can do that and he can throw the ball and you know what I mean? He can make all the throws. And that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. But if you don't have the you don't have the IQ to know that, hey, in the pros, it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Okay, now it's time to bounce. Now it's either time to run or it's time to dirt the ball and get rid of it and move on to the next play. Um, and he doesn't always do that. Sometimes you can make something out of something,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he tries too often, and sometimes he runs himself into sacks, which is what I saw
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, he got sacked 9 times, and some of it was on the defense. I mean, the offensive line, but a lot of it was on him too. A lot of it was on him.
Absolutely.
So, this is what we're dealing with, and the play calling, the personnel. You know what I mean? Some of that stuff has not really assisted in his development. You know what I mean? So I will say that. I will say there's blame to be placed at, you know, Eberflus and Waldron and even Chris Morgan, who's the offensive line coach. There's blame to be placed at all these guys. There's blame that you can place on the players themselves, even the wide receivers. You know what I mean? Some of those guys, they get dejected and they may not run their best route. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Caleb, trying to do too much, missing open guys. This is all par for the course. I knew there would be growing pains with this quarterback, and it's the same thing I said with Justin Fields. Be patient, relax, be patient. I even said be patient with Shane Waldron, right?
You did.
But there comes to a point. It comes to a point where you have to just, man, that's it, bro. Like 23 straight drives, no touchdown. You know what I mean? 30, the last, 34, 37 drives, something like that. Only 2 touchdowns. And come on, man.
Yeah.
It's just, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And let's not get it twisted. The one touchdown that they did have was what, against Washington,
Yeah.
where it was kind of like in garbage time, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like
That was
they
that
drove
swift
down, they scored that
touchdown in the
touchdown.
second half. Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a garbage time touchdown. So it really, you know, if you look at it, man, it's been the last 3 games have been really, really, really pathetic. And they was on a 3 game winning streak. Now they're on a 3 game losing streak, and it ain't looking bright right now. Everything, I mean, it's chaotic. It's the team is in shambles. You got these reports popping up. Another question is, like you said, the report about veterans going to the leadership and saying, "Hey, we want Tyson Bagent." I thought I'm sitting there when I read that, I'm like, this is
Insane.
this is really bad because
Yes.
this is not like Joe Flacco. It's not like Alex Smith, who's a serviceable
It's a
veteran
two and
guy.
two
This
Tyson
is a
Bagent.
Tyson Bagent who's thrown for 800 yards in his entire career. He's only a second year player. So you're telling me that you want to go away from the rookie to a second year player
That barely
who
played.
has probably less experience, game experience than Caleb at this point, because Caleb's played what, 9 games, 9 games or whatever. So
Yeah.
if you play 9 games and the other guy's played what is he? I don't know what he's
Two and
played.
two.
So he's played 4 games, right?
Yep.
So you're telling me that you'd rather go to the guy that played 4 games and actually has less experience than your rookie quarterback?
They
It's
just be
it's
talking. Like,
it's crazy. So if it's true, that's a huge indictment on, I don't know if it's the relationships or if people just don't believe in the guy. If they don't believe in him, then we got a major issue because that ain't gonna change anytime soon, right? And what I mean by that's a major issue is that Caleb, of course, he gets wind of it because we have wind of it, right?
yeah.
So of course he sees the reports and it's like, okay, so who's talking trash? You know what I mean? So that's going to be his attitude, possibly, right? I don't know if maybe he lets it roll off his back or whatever, but um, you know, there's some circles in the NFL, scouts and things like that that I've spoken to that said, hey, he doesn't handle adversity when it comes to that very well, and it's a possibility that he holds grudges possibly against some of the players. If he knows who it is or whatever, or he may go start looking for it. Well, who's talking this? Who's trashing? You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. So you got to worry about that now. And like I said, it's a fiasco. The locker room is in complete turmoil, and I'm glad they got rid of Shane Waldron. But man, I don't see how Eberflus gets these guys back on the same page if they were ever on the same page. I doubt it. You know.
I don't think they was. I'm going back in my mind thinking of when we had Hard Knocks and how they looked like they gelled together outside of Caleb. Um, I I don't know. Um, the
It's
locker room
bad,
was
man.
in
It's
shambles.
bad.
The
You
locker
just
room
got a
was in
bad
shambles.
situation.
Yeah, the locker room was in shambles.
Yeah.
That's a huge like confidence breaker if the vets is saying that they want their quarterback bench for a quarterback that only played 4 games in its
Four
in its
games.
2 years. Like that is a huge.
He was a rookie last
Imagine,
year.
imagine how the media and social media is going to react if that even happens. I know Flus stated that Caleb is our quarterback going forward, but what if that actually happens? What type of blow up we're going to have? Like it's already blowing up now, but it's going to be even worse. It doesn't make sense, man. This whole team from top to bottom is just like we below rock bottom right now, and I don't know, there's no fixing at this point. I'm just being honest. Like, just play the season out. Fire Flus. Chris Morgan is gone. That's his best friend. He's gone. And start a rebuild. And it's going to
And
suck
that's the thing.
because
Like when we say
we
Chris
got play.
Morgan is his best friend, I don't.
That's what I heard. That's what I'm
But
hearing.
Chris Morgan is like a holdover from Nagy's tenure, right?
That's what I'm
So
hearing.
I
It
don't know.
doesn't
I don't know
matter.
where their ties are or whatever.
It
It
don't
is
matter.
what
He's
it
he's
is.
good
But
as gone. He
I
good as
don't
gone
know.
because the line was
Um,
garbage. We need to completely tear this team apart and start over and really build around Caleb. And it sucks because we got players who signed to win now, and we're not going to win right now. It's also been reports prior to Shane getting fired that somebody close to Ryan Poe's circle confirmed that Flus is not going nowhere after this season. I feel like if Ryan Poles does not fire Flus after this season, you lose the locker room. You lose pretty much the whole fan base. Is that what you want? Like you heard, like I know they all heard the fans this past Sunday saying fire Flus. That's embarrassing. Fire Flus. That's embarrassing. In
well,
the
I
first,
mean, but see, that's the thing. I don't think that they should pay attention to it, right? I
they
want my
shouldn't.
organization and I want the leadership. I want everybody to show the mentality that we're not going to back down or we're not going to acquiesce to what coaches, what play, I mean, not coaches, but what fans, media, or even players say, right? So, in my opinion, if they're coming to me saying, hey, bench this dude, I probably wouldn't do it, of course. That's number one, because I don't want players running roughshod over
Mm-hmm.
coaches, GM, what so on and so forth, calling the shots. That's how you get situations where there's no respect, right? So obviously there's no respect. It's gone as of right now.
Yeah.
So what they're gonna have to do going forward is, can you find a semblance of somebody that's worth sticking around, right? And that goes for players and coaches, of course. Um, But I don't think Flus lasts through this situation because the schedule is entirely too hard.
Yeah, we got the hardest
You've
schedule.
lost 3 straight games to teams that you probably should be beating,
Absolutely.
and now you're about to go into 6 games against division foes who are all very, very good, and then you got San Francisco and you got Seattle. 8 games. Those 8 games, I don't see the Bears going 4-4. I don't see it going 4-4. If you go
We're
four and
not winning
four,
another
you're
game.
still with a losing season.
It's a losing
If you go
season.
4-4, I don't see them going 4-4. I see them at the most winning maybe 2 of these games.
I don't see
Somehow,
that.
yeah, you don't see that.
The only game as of right now we can possibly win is Seattle, and that's like the second to last game of the season.
Yeah,
We're not beating a well put together Detroit game, home or away.
yeah.
Green Bay owned us for I don't know how long.
I ain't gonna talk
Minnesota.
about Green Bay owning us, man. I'm not, This is
Minnesota.
Green Bay week too, so let's.
Yeah,
I'm not giving Green. I'm not in the business of giving Green Bay credit for nothing.
I'm
All
just
right,
realistic.
that's fine. You can be
I'm not
realistic,
going
but
to get
I'm
my
I'm
hopes
going to
put up just to get them
also.
shot down. If we beat Green
eh,
Bay somehow, okay, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Jordan Love is gonna.
that's fine, but I'm not giving them credit. They don't
I
own
I,
us.
I hear you. I
Go ahead.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't see us beating Minnesota,
Hmm.
but I mean we could possibly sneak one against them maybe if defense can like hold them, but I don't see us winning any of our division games. And I only say Seattle because I think they're 4-5 right now.
Okay.
So that's it. But realistically, we probably won our last game of the season before the bye week against the Jaguars out the country.
No,
Like
I'm gonna say I think they win at least maybe one, maybe two games, two more.
that's sad, man.
I'd
That's
be I'd be
sad.
and like I said, at this point in time, I've already you get a situation where okay, the season starts and you're excited, and then they're looking bad, and it's like okay, we deny this, it's not happening like this. Then
Hmm.
there's the anger period where it's like Washington game, I was angry, I was heated, right?
We should have.
And
I,
now I've come to the point where it's like I've accepted who
mm.
we are at this point. I have accepted that this team is not that good. It's not coached well. There's no discipline, and
Yep.
guys have not bought into whatever the coaches are preaching. They haven't bought in because if they bought in, guys will be a little bit more focused. You came out of a bye week and you had
Unprepared.
unprepared, and you never got prepared since then. Every single game it's the same thing. Like I don't understand. And just watching the game, you listen to the commentator, Daryl Johnston, I think he was commentating, and he's like, everything the Bears have to do, everything they do is very, very difficult. Everything is
Yeah,
hard.
I heard that too.
It's
Yes.
not,
It's not that
it
difficult.
was funny when he said it because I said that weeks ago. I was like, everything they do is like an arduous task. It's like
You did.
it's very hard to do. Everything is very hard. There's nothing that they ever do on the football field that just comes easy. Like, okay, bread and butter. This is gonna work. Everything is a difficult problem. Every snap is like, are we gonna go backwards? Are we gonna lose yardage here? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. Exactly.
there's no confidence. I have none, zero confidence in what they're gonna do each game.
You
None.
know, the last time the Chicago Bears had a top 10 or a top 5 offense was back in
1977.
1977.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thought of.
Yeah. Me either. I wasn't born yet.
1977,
No, no.
and we're in almost in 2025. Do the math on that. That was the last time we had a top 10 offense.
Top five, I think it was. Top five.
Top 5, top 10 don't
Yeah.
matter.
Top
We
five.
ain't in neither. We ain't had neither. What?
It's bad, man. I mean, but this is like I said, I've accepted it at this point. Like I'm not even upset about the year anymore. I'm done with it. I was in denial for a minute. I was upset. I was mad. I was angry. And now it's just like, well,
It is what it is. This is who we are. And I feel like, to be honest, and it's gonna suck, if we stop buying into the hype year after year in the off season, we won't be as
no,
angry as we are now.
that ain't gonna never happen. That's never
It's
gonna happen.
not, but this year was like the most hype the Bears have ever had. He was on Hard Knocks. Oh, that West was so weak. We got Caleb Williams. He can't do a completed pass, not even a short pass. We got our defense. They starting to go flat week after week because they losing their
And
gas.
can we speak to the people that
Oh, let's go.
we talked about some of this stuff and people literally attacked us. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest. Right?
Be honest. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out.
I'm not gonna name names because they don't get
I
that. They don't
will.
get that from me, and I'm not naming names. But I will say this. What was it? I think it was maybe week 2 or 3. I think you said,
I
yeah,
said
they
something week
rolling.
4.
I said they. You said they rolling, but we're gonna see how they do against
Top 10 big
as
teams. And we can't even
Now,
beat a 2-17.
yeah, we can't. We losing against the teams that we should be beating up, right?
The
And
Commanders was a test to that. I'm sorry to cut you off. The Commanders was a test to beating a contending team, and we couldn't even do that.
that's the thing. I mean,
Go
you
ahead.
can't
Sorry.
you can't win the games, and right now they don't look like they can beat anybody really. Like they look. Sunday was really really bad, man. Sunday was like, whew, it was bad. So, you have a situation where you just got to go in there and you got to say, okay, what we gonna do going forward? Because this
This ain't
season is
it.
a wash. It's done. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see. Fluke's got to know, hey, your day's a number, bro. Like I don't see. I don't think there's a way he sticks it out. Can't save your job. Last year they went 5-2, and I was like, I tried to buy in, and I was like, okay, 5-2 over the last 7. He got the defense rolling. Maybe we on to something. You know what I mean? Nah, nah.
It's just
Guys have not bought in. They not bought into that team.
at all.
No.
Because I'm telling you, the moment they lost respect was when they out here doing interviews talking about how plays should have been ran. That's disrespectful. You don't.
Well,
That's how
that's
I
what
feel.
happens. That's what happens when and I said this too before. Like when you've been in the locker room, you understand some of the things that go on. Like a coach can demand accountability. You can demand it, but as a leader, you can never expect people to do something that you're not willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is, even it doesn't matter what you do. You could be a manager at a warehouse. You could be a Fortune 500 company owner. It doesn't matter what you do. If you ask somebody to do something that you yourself are not willing to do, it won't bode well. It won't go well. So
Mm-hmm.
when you ask to hold themselves accountable, to do this, to do that, blah blah blah, all these principles you have in place for them, and you're not accepting responsibility. Matter of fact, you and Shane Waldron doubled down on things that you made mistakes on.
Like that Doug
Said
Kramer
I'd do it
pass.
again. Okay,
That Doug.
now the players in the locker room are looking like, okay, you want us to hold ourselves accountable though, but look at you. Like everybody knows
Hello.
you shouldn't have handed the ball off to Doug Kramer.
At
Everybody
all.
knows you shouldn't have ran 2 back-to-back quarterback draws. Everybody knows you should have had more than 3 people rush and the stupid spy on a Hail Mary. Everybody knows you should have played and had your guys playing for the sideline to keep them in the playing field and not give up a 15-yard pass to set up the Hail Mary play. So when you sidestep all of that,
Mm-hmm.
but you point your finger and say Tyreek Stevenson, you see, the fans don't like you right now, so we gonna pile on and we gonna do this. We gonna help you be accountable to yourself now. We gonna help you to learn some accountability. Now everybody in the locker room is looking at each other like, what the what's up with these fools?
And I want to touch on that Tyreek Stevenson. Like I felt like everything that happened after the game was so unnecessary. Because I get he should have been like paying attention, but that whole suspension and
That's
that
what I'm
I felt
saying.
like that was so unnecessary because taunting the crowd, in my opinion, I feel like it's a part of playing the game. You trash talking. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You trash talking. Like that's a part of the game.
But you want people to be focused, but you're not
Yeah.
focused enough.
Yeah.
See, no. What I'm saying is like they want him to be focused on the game, and you do want the player to be focused. Don't be doing that during the game,
Yeah, I
dog. Do
get
that
that
after the
part.
game.
I
You
get
got
that
one
part.
more play, lock this play down, then you can laugh and joke and do whatever you want
Yeah.
to do to
Yeah.
the crowd at that point. But see, the coaches wanted him to know that, but you were too busy. You didn't understand. You didn't do your due diligence. And I had somebody tell me, because I mentioned that. I said, look, you know, everybody's talking about him, but they didn't do their job because their job is to understand and see on the field all my guys lined up. They know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. If they don't, I got 3 timeouts. I can call one,
Yeah.
right? But they didn't
Absolutely.
do that. The coaching staff didn't do that. So when I said that, dude was like, sent me, he sends me a message like, well, you know, I don't know if that's actually good, Dan, because like, what about if you went to school and you didn't do your homework, is it the teacher's fault because they didn't come home and help you
Somebody
with your
else
homework?
basically said
I'm
that.
like, dog,
I
like
remember hearing that.
that's not even appropriate to do because the coach's job is to look at the football field.
Right, you
We're
had three
talking about,
timeouts. Come on now.
if you want to compare that situation, it would be more along the lines of, did you take your playbook home and study? That's
Yeah.
what that is. It's not what's going on in the game. If somebody from the coaching staff should have seen, there were not only Tyreek Stevenson, he wasn't paying attention. That's on him. He's a
Yeah,
dummy.
absolutely.
Now, there were other players that didn't know where they were supposed to be on the football field. You know what I'm saying? So you ignored all of that. All of that goes on under your watch. As a coach, as a staff, it goes on under your watch. You don't accept accountability for it, but you want to hold somebody else accountable. That's
It
where the
started with
players
you.
are like, we done, bro.
Mhm.
Like I don't have none. I don't respect nothing you got to say. Nothing. Zero.
I want to touch on a couple stats I've been seeing online for the past couple of days
Yeah.
about quarterbacks for the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, and the whole nine. First of all, New England came into Chicago only having 3 sacks on the year, and they had 9
Mm-hmm.
against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dog, what the heck is that? Um,
They had how many coming in?
3.
No way.
That's what I
Is that
heard.
true?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what I heard.
god.
I'm gonna send it to
So
you. I'm gonna
you
send it
so
to
you
you.
telling me
I'm
they
gonna I'm
they
gonna
had
send it
three
to
sacks
you.
coming into the game as a team,
Yes,
and then they got wow,
yes. I'm gonna send it
that's
to you
unbelievable.
after the pod.
That's
Yes,
unbelievable.
yes,
Okay. I did
um,
not know that.
yes. Okay, so between Trubisky, Justin Fields, and Caleb Williams, all during their first 9 starts, Trubisky had 23 sacks, Justin Fields had 31 sacks, and now Caleb Williams has 38 sacks through 9 games, their first 9 games.
Hmm.
That speaks a lot of volume in itself too.
Yeah.
What else? I think Caleb Williams is the most pressured or tied for the most pressured quarterback in the NFL. Did you hear that one? That's when let me see.
I'm gonna give you
When
some
the
stats that's gonna change because right now you're giving stats that are all laying is saying that offensive line. Well, I'm gonna give you some more stats too, but go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No. Finish. I don't mean to
Okay.
cut you off.
And then and this stats about Flus, we all know it. If this stat alone should just shows that he needs to be fired. Flus is 14-29 as a head coach in his 2.5, 3 years in Chicago.
Okay.
And he had to fire 2 offensive coordinators in the same calendar year.
Well, see, that's the thing that's to me that's the bigger indictment. The record itself, I'm not that worried about
I am.
because no, I'm not worried about it. And the reason I'm not worried about it is because you weren't worried about it when you had Justin Fields, were you?
Um,
Be honest.
a little
You
bit
don't you
towards
don't
the
you
towards the
don't you
back
don't
end.
tie Justin Fields. If people use that record against Justin Fields, you balk at it. You say no.
But they do. They have.
I know they do, but you don't like that, right? So I'm not gonna do it to him. And the reason being, it's a reason being for it, right? I know you don't like that, but look, it's a reason being. You can't. I mean, the record is what it is, and that's fine. But like I said, it's more of an indictment the coaching staff, and the reason that I put less value in that whole record situation is because this roster was completely turned over
It was. That's true.
when they got him. When he got here, you had a complete turnover of that roster,
That's
a
true.
100% turnover, right? You had to get rid of salary cap. You didn't have draft picks the first year that he was here. You
That's
know what I'm
true.
saying? It's a lot that they had to really navigate, muddy waters that they had to navigate. So I'm not gonna just. That's not the biggest indictment to me. The bigger indictment, like I said, is the coaching staff. You fired two offensive coordinators in the same calendar as you said.
Hmm.
You had a defensive coordinator that was walked out of the building for HR reasons or some type of nefarious activity, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
You forget that one.
And not only that, but you've also had, I think it's a total of 12 coaches that have been dismissed since you took over. Since Eberflus put his team together, 12 of these guys, I think it's either 8 or 12, one of the two. Is missing. I think it's 12. 12 total coaches have been either fired or dismissed because of whatever. Now, a lot of it had to do with HR situations. Now, I don't know what was going on. They haven't told us, right?
Mm.
But to me, that's more of an indictment because, bro, what are you doing in your coaching hiring? What are you doing putting together your staff? What kind of people are you bringing in here to teach football to players?
And
That's the
you
problem.
let these great offensive coaches or these coaches that you interview go, like Cliff Kingsbury, the O-line for the Falcons. Like, they all have a top 15 offense right now.
Yeah.
All of them. That's that we interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. But yet here we are, just fired our OC today.
Yeah.
Because you guys thought Shane was the one out of everybody you interviewed. Oh, Shane is the one. He's better than Cliff Kingsbury.
It's
what?
the eighth. It's the eighth. So I misspoke. It's not the 12th coach. It's the eighth coach. Shane Waldron is the eighth guy in 2.5 years, basically, that has been either dismissed or fired or resigned in the past 14 months. In 14
resigned is
months.
Crazy. If you resigned, you know what was up already.
Not even 2 years. In 14 months, you've either resigned or been fired. 8 different members of his coaching staff. So that tells me you don't know what you're doing when you're hiring your coaches.
Yeah,
you don't know how to put together. You don't know how to put together a good coaching staff.
At
so
point,
to me, that's the bigger indictment than the record, because the record is the record. You know there's some problems that you had to flip the whole roster and you brought in new young guys and blah blah blah.
Some things need to be accounted for, like being 0-18 on the road on Sundays.
I mean, of course,
that's a nasty stat that you cannot get past.
Yeah.
That alone should get you fired.
That's major.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So if the Bears are interviewing that bad, Dan, why don't you interview? Be our OC.
I know, right?
Because
I'm not for OC. I do defensive coordinator. I ain't gonna do OC
for Texas,
though.
Right? You got it.
I ain't gonna do OC though. But look. Check this out though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about the sack situations, right? The sacks that he has had.
Yeah.
Okay, so he leads the NFL. Caleb Williams being who I'm talking about. He leads the NFL with 19 sacks when his offensive line has a pass block win.
Yep.
So that means everybody along the offensive line correctly handled their assignment and gave him, according to the statisticians and all, according to the parameters, you might say, enough time to throw the ball. 19 times he took sacks, which means he's holding on to the ball too long. The other thing, 27 sacks are on the extended dropbacks, which means that he has 4 or more seconds after the snap. So hike the ball, and you got 4 seconds. Now, normally, everybody knows you got to get rid of the ball in 2.5, 3 seconds. It got to be gone. It got to be, your decision has to be made and it has to be gone. So if they're holding up 4+ seconds, that means he's holding the ball too long. So this is what I was talking about, right? When they was going through this whole process of getting Caleb Williams and things like that, I said some of the same issues that Justin has, he has. He holds on to the ball too long. He looks for the deep shot too much. He doesn't take his checkdowns. And that's what you're seeing, right? That's exactly what you're seeing. The exact same thing that plagued him in college, he's doing it in the pros because his talent was up here. So his talent's up here, and he's thinking, I make these throws. I did this in high school. I did it in college, blah, blah, blah. I've done this, right? But now your talent's here, but everybody else's talent is up here too and past you on the defensive side of the ball. So you're not going against Fresno State. You're not going against Washington State in the Pac-12, right? You're going against NFL players. And all
Mm-hmm.
these NFL players were the best players on their high school, colleges,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth, right?
Yep.
And the talent gap is much smaller now. And he hasn't realized that yet. He's still trying to do what he used to do, and it's time to understand where you are. It's a sense of awareness. You have to have self-awareness of who you are. Be a little bit of humble, have a little bit of humility as well, and say, you know what? Live to fight another day. Throw the ball away,
Mm-hmm.
take
Yeah.
off, bolt the pocket, and take off and get what you can on the ground. You
Yes.
know, but don't dance around in the pocket. Don't walk into other sacks, which is what he does consistently. He does it every week.
Yeah, he do. Just throw the ball away. That'll save you from getting sacked. Just throw the ball away. Come on now.
And I'm not, and I just want to let people know that I'm not saying that the offensive line is great, because the offensive line is playing musical chairs right now because people are injured. Nate
Absolutely.
Davis, we don't know where he is. He's at home. He's sleeping, playing video games, whatever. And you know what I mean. He has some issues with his family. His mother died, so I'm not gonna bang on him
Not the
too much.
word.
So
Yeah.
I understand that, but those are the things that we have that we were dealing with. And then of course, you got some issues with the wide receivers. Maybe they're disengaged a little bit because of not getting balls thrown their way and stuff like that. Is it right? No. But do you understand it? Yeah, because they're divas. That's what wide receivers do.
Yeah, they definitely
you
do.
know
And I don't understand this DJ Moore smoke that he's been getting the past couple of weeks. I don't get it because, I mean, what has he done to, besides be honest? As
well,
as
they
honest as he can, I will say, because I'm sure he can be a lot more honest than he has been, right?
yeah.
But like, what has he done? Like, people saying he's not running his routes, he look lazy, he's not fast. Like, come on, you can clearly see, like that pass Caleb tried to make. I think to the right to DJ Moore, and it was so underthrown he couldn't even catch it. Like, how's that
Yeah.
his fault?
And they said, and then like, because I tweeted that out, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
look at this,
yeah, it's all
Flus
on Caleb.
deserves it. Everybody deserves it. I'm not saying nobody people don't deserve the smoke, because everybody deserves the smoke.
Yeah,
But let's call a spade a spade. This dude is not playing well. And people
absolutely.
came at me and was like, some people agreed, some people was like, nah, DJ Moore, he drifted on his route. It's his fault, blah
I
blah
seen
blah.
that
And
comment.
I'm like, hold on. Everybody knows. You ask any wide receiver, most wide receivers will tell you the first thing, on outs and things like that, the quarterback will tell the wide receiver, get your head around because the ball is coming and it's coming hot. You know what I'm saying? So you
Hmm.
got to get your head around so that you can locate the ball. It's not because you know what I mean? It's so that you can locate the ball. That's why you get your head around. So when DJ Moore runs that route, he turns out, the ball is supposed to be being thrown because it's almost a pick play. It's guaranteed to be open, basically. That's what you run it for, to move the chains on that down. So you run that quick out, and it's a little bit of a rub where the other receiver gets in the way, and
Hmm.
and and it just picks them off just for a split second. It's not a block, it's not illegal or anything like that, but it's just a split second so that the guy can get the ball to him, and you're wide open for that time. Now, if he runs that route, he turns around. If the ball is coming, then he locates it and he goes and gets it, right?
Right. Yeah.
But if he turns around and Caleb's hesitating, like he did, now DJ Moore's like, oh my God. And he starts to drift on his route. I understand it. I understand it. I see that. I'm gonna do a show with Three Kings and Devore, he played wide receiver. I'm gonna ask him the same question. I'm gonna say, what happens when it's a timing situation, if the ball's not coming as
Mm-hmm.
a wide receiver, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? So, he hesitated. He shouldn't have hesitated. He should have threw the ball.
Yeah,
And that's that's
that's the
that's
first
what it should
mistake.
have been.
Why are you so hesitant? You know the
But
route.
but
You're
but
gonna
they're so
play. Just throw the
focused
ball.
on, it's people that are focused on, hey, he can't be the problem. He can't be the reason. But man,
Man,
his deep ball accuracy, terrible. It's bad.
bad.
You know
And
what I
they
mean?
crucified me for saying
We
that,
just
but
gotta
here
we
we
just
are.
gotta call it how it is. We call
Yeah.
it we call it how it is on these other guys.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
somebody makes a
Caleb
mistake,
deserve it. Yeah. Hmm.
if somebody goes out there and fumbles the ball, I'm gonna say, whatever. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Holding that player accountable. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing is holding him accountable. At this point, I feel like Caleb, he's seeing ghosts. Because who are you throwing to? What do you see on the field that everybody else don't see?
Mm.
Why are you overthrowing? Who are you throwing to?
I
Like
mean,
your
he's
man is
always
not
had that
there.
problem though. That overthrow,
Um.
especially on the deep balls, he's since college, man. Go back and look at the tapes.
So I want to. Okay, so I don't really watch. Well, prior to this year, I haven't really watched college. What if he was like this bad as y'all say he was in college? How did he get picked first?
I'm not saying he was bad in college though.
I won't say bad, but have all
Those
these
are those
problems,
are the issues that he had.
all these
But
issues that he
everybody
had.
falls in love with Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's in love with that, right? So when you see a guy who's able to do some of the similar things, he can play off platform, he can do these angled
Mm,
arm angle throws and all of this and that and the third. People fall in love with that. And that's what they did. They fell in love with it. But in the pros, you can't do
in
that
the,
every play, man.
yeah,
You can do
absolutely.
it twice, three, four, maybe at the most 5 times a game. But he's back there doing that every single snap, every pass play. And I said it a long time ago. I said he's getting away with it, but he's gonna either get smacked or you know what I mean. And he's running into sacks like
I'm getting
literally.
smacked.
He
Yeah.
hiked the ball. He was standing there. He turned his back to the line of scrimmage, was running the opposite way, and ran right into the dude's arms.
Ugh.
It was like he was wanting to give him a hug.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
dude, like, what are you doing? Like, those are things that you don't do. But see, he got away with it. His footwork has been bad. His mechanics are bad. All of this stuff is bad. But he got away with it because his talent was up there. His talent is high. You know what I'm saying? His arm talent, his ability is really high. But like
Man,
I said, the same things you saw with Justin,
you
you
see what
see some
Caleb?
of the same things,
Hmm.
man.
I saw it immediately.
Yeah.
I saw it immediately. Week
And
one.
holding on to the ball way too long, man. You got to let it go. And people were saying, oh, now one thing I will say, the difference between the two, Caleb is smaller, he's shorter, he's not as strong, and he's slower, right?
Hmm.
Justin has those physical attributes that are higher than Caleb's. But Caleb has a quicker release, right?
I can
Now
see
it's a
that.
difference. It's a difference between quick release and holding on to the ball too long. Because somebody, that's the thing you got to understand when you're talking to people. Sometimes you're talking to a casual fan, right? And it's
Mm.
like I was talking to somebody and I said he's holding on to the ball too long. Well, what do you mean? It only takes him, he can get rid of the ball in point so and so seconds.
But you got to get
I
to
said
that
that's
point,
his
right?
release, bro. That's his
You got to
release.
get to that point to release the ball,
That's
right?
his release. No, not to that point. You gotta release the ball. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
when
know
you
you got to
hike the
release the
ball.
ball, but you holding on the ball too long before you can release it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So you hike the ball and you're standing there, patting the ball, or you're running around trying to do this,
It's
that, and the
just
third.
what
That's
are you
holding
looking
on to the
for?
ball too long,
Yeah,
not
it's
the
like
release.
what is he looking for? Like, that's what I'm
The
trying to
big
figure out.
play, the big play,
This
the home
pass
run.
the pass to commit and commit got it. You got playmakers that'll just throw the ball. You
You
have
don't target commit.
playmakers,
You don't target commit.
and that's the
Somebody,
freaking
I was
problem.
talking to somebody and they told me they sent a message and he was like, "Hey, my son told me that Cole Komet is gonna." This is before when they first drafted Caleb. The
Mm.
dude's son told him, I forgot who it was, but he said like, "My son told me that Caleb is gonna go, games without targeting Cole Komet."
Oh
And he
my
was like,
god.
whatever. So he sent the thread of the text message and he's like, "See, I told you that." You know what I mean? It's been like 2 or 3 games where it's not
Oh
even
my
one target. It's like
god.
he don't look for him. When we signed DeAndre Swift, what did everybody knew? DeAndre Swift was signed as a pass catcher out the backfield. He don't target him. He don't target commit. It's just the wide receivers and it's primarily Rome. And that's
And
fine.
I felt
But you're
like
doing a disservice to your vets, man.
Shane said, "Oh, we haven't called plays for commit," or some crap he said like that. And it's
And
like,
that's
what do you mean?
stupid.
It's like, what do you
And
mean?
if that's
What
the
do you
case,
mean?
if Shane said that, then Shane deserves exactly what he got. Because
Yeah.
how do you not call plays? How do you not draw something up for your tight end sometimes?
Hello. Yeah, I think it was in the press conference like last week he said that.
So that's a major indictment right there.
All
So
right. Before we move on, As we all know, since Shane got fired, our new OC for the rest of the season is Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown, he was with the Carolina Panthers last year, and from what I'm gathering, he only coached a couple of games. However, they were dead last in passing yards. They was 31st in touchdowns and 30th in sacks allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, he's going to be the Bears OC. He talks a good game from what I've been seeing online. But at this point, everything going forward with the Bears is about action. How are you going to change it around? I don't want to hear you talking all this sweet talk about, whatever he was talking about. How are you going to turn this team around in the slightest?
I mean, it remains to be seen, man.
Yeah.
I can't
So,
call it one way or another
yeah,
because,
we just don't know.
like you said, I mean, do you hold that against him? He was working with Carolina. Carolina has nothing,
No, you
so you
really
can't.
can't, but that's going to be part of his resume.
I mean, it's part of the resume, but you also got to look at the other part of the resume. He worked with Sean McVay,
He did.
so
I also
there's
heard
good there. There's some bad on the other situation,
I also heard he
but
worked,
with the other
real.
situation, I mean, man, what is they're the worst team in the NFL. Like
They
last
are.
year, we got the number one pick because of them,
Yep.
because they were
Yeah.
that bad. So, was that his fault? I don't think it was his fault. He didn't have much to work with out there.
He didn't.
So we'll
So
see. You
we'll
got
see. I'm
weapons
excited
now.
to see, I guess.
You got weapons now, right?
Hmm.
That's what Bears fans wanted. Weapons
That's what we got. So
instead of linemen.
Bears, Packers at home, win or lose. I know.
It's Packer week, man. I can't go against the Bears on Packer week. I just can't do it.
So you got the Bears winning?
Bears. They're not gonna win, but I got them winning.
That's there. I got the same answer. We're not going to win, but it's our rival, our biggest rival.
Yeah.
We're the oldest rivalry in the NFL. So the Bears not going to win.
We're probably gonna get shellacked. We'll probably get shellacked.
And we are. We know we are. Same thing from last week. Nothing different.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe more targets here and there, but nothing different. All right, let's go ahead and do our picks of the week, and let's go ahead and get up out of here.
Let's do it.
All right, so first game, we have Thursday Night Football. We have the Commanders visiting Philly. That's a good game. That's a good game. Who you got winning? The Commanders or Philadelphia?
Philadelphia.
Me too. They're at home. Philly got it. Next game, we just talked about Bears, Packers. We'll skip that. We got Jacksonville visiting Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit finna mollywop them. Next game, we got the Vikings visiting Tennessee. I got the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Vikings too.
Yes, come on now. It's the Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Next game we have on Sunday is the Las Vegas Raiders visiting Miami.
This Sunday? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they just played on Monday night. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
The Dolphins?
Miami.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna probably go Dolphins too. Next game we got the Rams visiting New England. I got the Rams.
Rams.
Then we got the Browns visiting the Saints. I'll probably go with the Saints because they just beat Atlanta at home this past Sunday.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints too. They're both terrible teams.
They are. The next game on Sunday we have the Indianapolis Colts visiting the New York Jets. These games are horrible, Loki.
Indianapolis Colts playing who? You cut out.
The Jets.
I'm gonna go to Colts.
I'm gonna go to Jets. Next game we got the Baltimore Ravens playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a good one.
Steelers are hot. Yeah, it's a real good one. Lamar Jackson versus Russ.
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh.
I don't know what to pick. I'm
It's a
probably
good
gonna
one.
go Pittsburgh. It's a good one. Probably Pittsburgh. Next game we got the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Denver Broncos.
Atlanta.
I got Denver. Oh, they got a good defense. Um, Next game we have the Seattle Seahawks playing the San Francisco 49ers. Division game.
San Fran.
I got San Fran too. Next is a good one. We got the Kansas City Chiefs visiting Buffalo. I got Buffalo. I like Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen fan. Sorry.
I'm gonna take Buffalo as well.
Then we got Sunday night. We got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Chargers.
I'm gonna take Cincinnati.
Me too. I'm going Cincinnati. And then for Monday night football, we got the Houston Texans playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Houston. Houston.
Why are you laughing?
Because the Cowboys are in shambles too.
I know they are. I got Houston too. They are. My mom is so upset. She's a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. She's been a diehard Cowboys fan since she was 12 years old.
You talk to her, tell her I said laugh out loud at the Cowboys.
All right, so that's our picks of the week. Dan, did you write them down?
I got them.
So come next week.
We're gonna tally up everything. We're gonna go through. I'm gonna tally up what we did so far, and we're gonna get caught all the way up. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay. Yeah.
I know I'm ahead of you though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Bet.
All right. All right. So that concludes this episode of Foul on the Play. You know, Bears we're done. Until something change in management, we're not going to be anything this year, next year, the year after. That's how I feel.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Man, please. I have zero confidence that anything's going to change, especially if Flus is here next year. Like, I'm beyond done. Like, I will still cover the Bears for the show. I'm not a Bears fan. If we keep Flus, I'm not a Bears fan. I'm looking for a new team. You can call it what you want to call it, but I can't root for somebody that sees failure and want to keep failure. I cannot. Because what does that speak about the team? Like,
they got to do something different, man. They gotta come up with a solution, and they got to move forward. And I think the Bears' biggest problem is that they got to stop being cheap when it comes to hiring a coach. Go ahead and get you a really good coach.
Yes.
And try to win some games, because you're not going to be able to do it with just talent, with just weapons, with a quarterback. It doesn't solve all things, right?
It does.
Football is the ultimate team sport. You got special teams, defense, offense. You got positional players that are on their own team, right? Mm-hmm. The running backs are a team. So it's the ultimate team sport. They all have to work in unison. Even the coaching staff has to be in unison with everybody. So,
absolutely,
man, get you a decent coach and a coaching staff that he can put together, and run with it, man. Stop booty shaking, man. Stop pump faking on this whole thing.
One coach I wanted for the past couple of years was Brian Flores, but I feel like he's too black for the McCaskies and the organization. And you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. I
mean, it's possible. It's possible.
That's how I feel. Like he's a great coach. He would have started Miami's success before he left, in my opinion. He is a great.
He's a good coach. It's a lot of candidates out there that are worthy, man. But like I said, the Bears, from time and time again, they always go the cheap route. Mark Trestman, washed up guys, or like John Fox was past his prime. You know what I mean?
John Fox era was tough.
Mark Trestman and Matt Nagy, he was the lowest guy on that Kansas City totem pole. You know what I mean?
And when we first got Matt Nagy, real quick, he did a couple of trick plays and like we looked good, like temporarily when we first got in my opinion. Like, okay, maybe this could work out. No.
Listen to what you said.
Oh, Lord.
Trick plays.
He did
gimmicks.
Gimmicks. He did.
Gimmicks.
It worked. I think it worked.
Gimmicks. How long do gimmicks work?
I hear you.
Okay. It's a gimmick for a reason. It's a gimmick for a reason.
Dang.
Trick plays for a reason. I'm just telling you. I'm being
Dang.
honest.
Dang.
It ain't gonna work. You
It has it. It has it.
cannot base your offense on trick plays
I hear you.
and being gimmicky. You got to have bread and butter. You got to have an identity, and you have to
And
move
we have
forward.
none. We
You
have
can
none.
sprinkle
We
in
don't
you
have
can sprinkle
identity.
in some trick plays,
Yeah.
but when you depend on that, like we need this trick play to really work, like that's when no.
Hmm.
When your offense is only trick plays or
Yeah.
goofy like screen passes and I mean just weird stuff like that. Like some of the trick
Yeah.
plays is fine,
Yeah.
but
I
it's a
agree.
gimmick, man. It's not real football. It's not going to consistently get you over the top and get you W's. It's not.
So when we come back next week, we'll talk about another fiasco. Or maybe not. We might actually
No,
mention
we're
it.
gonna talk about a Bears win over them sorry Packers.
I love your positivity.
We gotta have positivity. You think I'm gonna put some content out here and have Packer fans in my mentions talking about? Look, you even said we
They
better than
gonna be
y'all.
in our
No,
mentions
they.
regardless.
I'm not. I'm not hearing it. I'm not playing games with these people. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
Packer week.
I
This is
understand.
rivalry week.
You can have that,
I'm gonna
but
talk trash regardless. I'm from Chicago. That's what I do.
I understand. I'm just realistic. I'm not about to sit up here and argue. No, we're gonna get our ass whooped.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna talk trash
And now,
while I get whooped. I don't care.
if we win,
I'm
that's
doing it.
different. I'm. When was the last time you beat the Packers? When we had Alshon Jeffrey and Jay Cutler in him?
No, we beat them. We beat them.
But
We beat
Trubisky?
them before that. Yeah, Trubisky beat them. Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Maybe,
It,
maybe
it,
not. I
it,
don't know.
it don't
I don't
matter.
know. I'm not worried about it. We're
It don't
gonna
matter.
win this Sunday. Don't worry about it.
All right, we're gonna come back and talk about this Bears W or not. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Kristy Love. Follow me on TikTok at Kristy Love Sports. Follow Team NBS Media at teamnbsmedia.com. Check out all of our shows we have. We have amazing shows, power ranking shows. We have an NFL show every Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern. Check us out. Where can they
Yeah.
follow you then?
At DanDanikin underscore DG3 at Three Kings of the Midway at Three Kings underscore Midway. We do that podcast. It'll be dropping tomorrow. Um, I will also be on the ranking show tomorrow too. So
Oh,
I know I
okay.
got some work to do there. So that's gonna be fun.
I gotta get on
we're
there
gonna
for a season
get
there.
into that. Yeah,
They
get
keep asking me. I gotta get on there.
yeah. And follow Team NBS Media. I mean, they got a ton of stuff, man. It's really good content. You got content from all over the NFL, the WNBA, the everywhere. You got stuff from fashion to entertainment, everything. They cover everything. So man, make sure you guys tune in, hit
Hmm.
the like, subscribe, give
Yes.
us a like and subscribe, a comment to us if
Yes.
you can. Um, you know, we're
Check us
trying to
out.
get out
We're
there
kind of
and just
dope.
be there for everybody.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. This was another episode of I Want to Play. I will catch y'all online on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Our Bears are in shambles, and that's all you can do is just sigh.
And it's
And
still bear down.
oh
Get it
yeah,
right, Christy.
it's
Get
still bear
on
down.
board.
I am. I'm just heartbroken right now. I'm a Bears fan, y'all. I'm a Bears fan. It's just really tough. We're going through a tough phase.
Yeah, we in bad shape. We in bad shape. We in bad shape. She gets the pass this week.
All right. All right, y'all. So I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Take it easy.